Well, clearly, I mean, he had great impact, especially in the first couple of years. Hasn't played as much, obviously, this year, and even a little bit last year. But you know, integral part of NCAA tournament teams, character guy, you know, multiple position guy. You know, really happy that he came here, and I think the world of him. You know, had an opportunity to take him home this summer, which was great. You know, just a guy that's a friend to everybody, and was a solid contributor.
Fran, what's it mean that he stayed here? It seems like so many kids transfer now if they don't get instant gratification, but he stuck it out.
Yeah, you know, I think even more so. You know, when you're from Europe, you can go get paid if you want, and he had that opportunity to leave here at any time and get paid. But he wanted to come here and get a degree. That was important to him, and he wants to stay in the United States and work. So we're going to try to help him make that happen. What they have to do is evaluate everything, as we will do. Okay. Obviously, we're going to evaluate how we recruit, strength and conditioning, how we travel, how we do skill development. When you have a bad season, that's what you do. You evaluate everything and you break it down. They got to do the same thing. So it's collective, but then it's got to be individual. Okay, what could I have done better? So we're all going to do the same thing. You know, you look at those two guys; they put up pretty good numbers. They were, you know, obviously instrumental in our victories, and you know, they had some spectacular performances. That said, you know, what could they have done better? What could the other guys have done better? What do we have to do to grow together? How do we improve some of our negative areas, which obviously has been on the defensive end? You know, I think that's the professional way to go about it.
Northwestern obviously is kind of seen, they also had a lot of high expectations.
Had some injury issues. You know, not where they lost somebody for the whole year, but McIntosh was out for a little bit. Vic Law doesn't play the other night. They lose a close game. You know, they've been out of their building. I mean, there's some extenuating circumstances there for them. And, you know, they graduated some people that, you know, sometimes you graduate Sanjay Lumpkin and you don't think it's that big a deal, and it's a big deal. He was a big part of the growth of that program, not just in his senior year when they go to the NCAA tournament, but, you know, building up to that point. You know, they've never been to one. You know, a lot of things have to come into play and come together for that to happen, and he was a big part of that. So you look at a roster that, you know, was pretty talented. You know, Vic Law, Scotty Lindsey, Brian McIntosh, Derek Pardon. I mean, they're Skelly. I mean, these are some of the best players in our league, and they have played that way at times. And there's other times when they've lost some tough games.
Do you kind of feel like that's similar to you guys?
Similar, yeah. You know, I think both teams had much greater expectation than where we ended up.
And is that because of the faith that Gary has showed you with a contract extension before the season?
No. It has to do with body of work.
So you think from what you accomplished, you know, it's allowed you to have a bad season? You have enough equity in the bank that a bad season shouldn't
affect anybody. You shouldn't even be bringing it up, to be honest with you. Or anybody else.
Why shouldn't I bring it up? I mean, you're in last place.
Yeah, I know. Like I said, it's body of work. There's a lot of things to be evaluated. Maybe you should look at that.
What do you think being in
Good. Off day always helps, so
yeah.
Take the most of it. Got a little workout in, but pretty much took the most of the off day.
Were you sick or injured at Minnesota?
No, I just was kind of frustrated. Just didn't get a lot of open looks, and obviously they did a good job of limiting my looks in the first place. And obviously Mason had a really good game, so it was just a frustrating game for me.
Did you let it get to you think?
I try not to let it to get to me, but obviously when you have that type of game and you're playing in front of thousands, 100,000 people on TV, it's going to obviously try to get to you a little bit. But when I come back in the second half, I was just trying to feed the hot hand with Ryan, so I was just throwing in there as much as possible and try to get him going, and got a little spark from him, so that was good.
Obviously, it's not the first time this season that you've been keyed in on by opposing defenses.
Yeah.
Going forward into next year, what are some ways you guys have talked about for you to get around, other teams specifically planning against you?
Right, yeah, obviously there's been some games where we did a really good job of, obviously I was moving without the ball a lot better. I think that's where it starts is, obviously I can't do everything with the ball, and obviously I want to facilitate when I have the ball, or I want to penetrate and get open looks that way, but usually when you're a shooter, a lot of look comes from moving without the ball, so I think that's something we're going to work on obviously next game, and obviously the mindset of myself is just work without the ball a lot better this upcoming game, and obviously that's going to be key for off season for me as well.
You're obviously facing a pretty prolific group of guards this weekend with
Yeah.
Northwestern. Can you describe McIntosh and Lindsay and the rest of them?
Yeah, obviously we had some battles last year with them. They took it to us at their place. Obviously it wasn't really much of a game last year, but McIntosh is one of the best point guards in the league, even in the country. With what he's able to score, he's able to pass. Obviously he had 16, 17 assists in a game earlier this year, so that just shows you what he's capable of doing. And obviously he's a tough guard, and they run a lot of good sets for him. Lindsay's another really tough guard, so I mean it's going to be tough to play against them, but we're just going to keep battling.
Fran said he felt like you needed to be more aggressive the other night. Did you feel like you weren't as aggressive as you needed to be?
Yeah, that's something I kind of hung my head on after the game, because I knew I should have stepped up and try to find my shot, and trying to not really help my shots, but trying to look for my open looks, because I know that's how a lot of more open looks that happens for other teammates is when I'm more aggressive. And you saw the couple games this year where I'm more aggressive. Obviously my assists go up and points go up, just be able to be more aggressive like that. So that's something I was kind of frustrated on, and anytime I'm taking 2 shots a game, I know it's going to be frustrating for me. So, but games like that happen, so I'm just going to keep working and do the best I can next game.
Northwestern.
Well, we haven't gone over it as a team yet, something we'll do today, but I mean, based off of what I've seen, I mean, they basically returned everybody from last year. Obviously, they've got their threats inside and out, but regardless of the game or who we're playing, we still want to be ourselves and do what we know we're capable of doing, and just get this last one here before the Big Ten tournament.
They're kind of like you guys, I would say, in that really high expectations for Northwestern, like you guys this season. For 2 teams that are going to, try to make a statement, what do you expect in Sunday's game?
I mean, I think it's going to be a hard-fought game. Like you said, obviously they didn't live up to the expectations that they were given, just like us, and that's something that we both have to look at as a reality check and just understand. It's a tough league, and every game is going to be a battle, and that's something that we have to be prepared for on Sunday.
How difficult has this been for you? Because every time you've made a little progress, it quickly goes back the other way.
Yeah, I think that might be the most frustrating part. We show glimpses of what we can be and what we feel like we should have been all year, and then sometimes we just revert back to our old habits, and that's something that's been kind of difficult for us to figure out. But I mean, at the end of the day, we still have to go out there and play, and we have each other's backs, and that's about all we can have right now.
Video, and it was, I can't remember exact, how fast has the time gone now? I think that was like 4 or 5 years ago, and here we are and approaching your senior day.
Yeah, it was crazy. Time flies. I never expected to, be out in Iowa, come from Germany, and, it's crazy.
Was there ever a time when you thought about leaving here, when your playing time diminished, or just, the fact that you stuck it out, does that say that you must really like this university?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I thought about it, I'm not gonna lie, but because I wanted to play, obviously, but I just fell in love with Iowa, so I just decided to stay, stick it out. Yeah.
Which players had the most impact on your career? You started with guys like Aaron White and Jared Utoff and those guys to now. Kind of looking back, what are your favorite memories and what do you recall of that?
The guy who helped me out the most is probably Gabe Lashani, with him being from Europe. He was kind of like a big brother to me, and I worked out with him every time he came back. Whitey and Jerry as well, helped me a lot because they kind of played the same position I played. So, and you said favorite memory?
Yeah.
Probably Michigan State win my sophomore year at home. You know, it was a big win. They were ranked #1 in the country, I think, so that was good.
Emotions for you when you step out on the court on Sunday? Can you can you expect what's going to happen?
I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm not an emotional guy really, so I think I'll be able to control myself. But it's going to be great. You know, my family's going to be out there with me, so yeah.
Your mother is coming from Germany?
No, not my mom from Germany. My Jersey family's coming, so my mom will be here for graduation. So, yeah.
Has this season been tough? I mean, you haven't played as much as in the previous years. Has that been kind of a tough thing to cope with, or?
Yeah, I mean, obviously you want to play more, but you know, and obviously I wanted to have a good season for us as a team, you know. But you know, you live and you learn. You know, you just gotta stay with it, stay focused, and you know, get better every day.
What's right now with one more game to go here?
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I mean, just having come here every day for 3-4 years now, and this could be the last time playing here, so it's pretty wild, but I'm excited.
What kind of memories you got? Are there a couple moments that stick out or anything?
I mean, there's so many memories. I'm here every day, but I just say like the little things, just in the locker room hanging out with the guys, or some of those fun practices we had, late night shooting, and just stuff like that. Just the little things with like my teammates, so I'll remember a lot here.
What made you want to do this? Walk on here and be part of this team? You probably could have played somewhere else.
Yeah, I knew I could play somewhere. I had some offers, D2, D3, but I knew I wanted to go somewhere big. And this is a great school academically, and I was lucky enough to be able to try out my freshman year and then also get in my junior year. But just the big atmosphere, the Big Ten, and being able to have a courtside seat at every single game, play with a bunch of Big Ten caliber players every single day, and become really good friends with them. Like, this is a dream come true. It's awesome.
How satisfying is it when the team has done well and you've helped prepare them?
Oh, it's honestly great. We love going to the locker room, and coaches are always giving us some praises when we do well, because when we are doing well in practice, hopefully that translates into the game. So it's nice to see them shut down the plays that they shut us down in practice as well in the real game. So it's pretty satisfying.
When you've seen